So I'm coming to you today with a video idea that was submitted under my request for request video. It was from a fellow YouTuber, Diva Kanitha, here on YouTube, and her idea was like story time, basically. She was like, it's winter, you like tea, make some tea and tell us a story. And that is like the cutest, sweetest idea to me, and I really appreciate her saying that because I was like, you know me, but she doesn't really know me. So it was just a really thoughtful suggestion. So in this series, I'm basically just going to tell you a hair story. A hair story where I learned something about hair care practices and usually how I learned it the hard way. Today is how I learned bleach and relaxers don't mix. So this was 9th grade of high school, and I was going to Ocean City, Maryland with one of my friends from school. I was super excited. I don't think I'd ever been to the beach, at least any time that I could remember, and her family had kind of like a timeshare type rental, and I was super excited because I knew her parents were really lenient, and they were going to let us do whatever we wanted. So when I got to her house and we were getting ready to leave, her mom gave me a little speech about don't do anything here that your mother wouldn't want you to do because, you know, I'm not dealing with that. And I was, yeah, I'm not going to do anything. So we get out there and we have a blast. Like, we could walk around by ourselves. Like, we went, like, to the boardwalk in the evening by ourselves, go-karting. We just did so much stuff. And this is the summer after 9th grade in high school, so that was a big deal back then. So this friend of mine, she is Asian, and she would do this thing every summer where she would buy a bottle of Sun-In bleach, spray it, douse her hair with it, and go lay out on the beach. And I was like, oh, that's how you get your hair brown. And sometimes it would get really light, like, not blonde, but it would get a really light brown. So I was like, I got dark hair, I can do it too. So I did the same thing. I doused my hair in Sun-In and went and sat outside. Nothing happened. And I was like, why isn't it doing it to mine? And she was like, well, it's buildable. Maybe you have to do it a couple days in a row. I don't know how many days I sprayed that demon product in my hair and went down to the beach with it. And I think there were patches that were lightening, and it just wasn't going fast enough for me. So I bought box dye on top of that. And I dyed my hair, the entire box, and it was brown, very, very, very dark brown, but a little lighter than my natural color. And bought another box, did it again. I don't know how many times I did it. So I used the Sun-In, I don't know how many times in that week. I don't know how many box dyes I bought. And yeah, that was that. I came back and she was like, your hair is lighter. And I was like, yeah, I used stuff with lemons in it and it lightened it. And she was like, oh, okay. She had no problem with it. And I think a day or two after I came back from the beach, it was time for me to get my back-to-school relaxer. Yeah. So we go to this. It wasn't a salon, is using the term loosely. It was someone she knew from somewhere. I think she was an island lady. I go in and I'm like, hey, I don't remember her name. Hey, Miss Blank. And she was like, why are your hair so light? And I was like, I use Sun-In. It's this stuff. It's not dye. I'm telling her about it. And she's like, I know what it is. And I was like, oh, okay. And I don't know whether she really knew what it was or not because she proceeded to relax my hair. She doesn't say anything while she's doing it. She's kind of rushing me over to the bowl and, you know, the relaxer. She's rinsing it out. She's like, you put that stuff in your hair, so there's a little bit of breakage. I'm what, 14, 15 years old? I was like, okay. And she does my hair. I don't see a mirror until she's done. When she finishes, it looks amazing. Like, it was one of the best my hair looked. Like, it was like flowy, and she gave me a nice trim. It was like really nice and even. I think it had even gotten a little longer. And she keeps saying, yeah, you use that stuff, so, you know, a little bit come out. But she kept saying that, and I was like, yeah, okay. But it was a fresh relaxer. I go home. I don't think I noticed anything that night. I don't know when it was that I noticed it. I think it was when my hair started to get old. Basically, the entire center part of my hair singed off. It was all about that long. I don't know how she even made it lay the way she did. I don't know if she went over it with whatever straightening device she was using, but I had basically like an inch thick mohawk down the center of my head, and I think it was broken off tiny in some more places. And yeah, you would think that I would be more mortified than I was. I think I saw it, and when I was a younger, I didn't give the slightest poo about appearances really. Like, I was just like, huh, I guess I gotta part it differently now. And I couldn't tell my mom because I didn't want her to know how strong that stuff I used was, and so I didn't tell anybody. I just parted my hair differently because I think I had sprayed the sun in mostly and done the dye. All of my hair parted in the same way, and I guess that part all literally singed to an inch long little shrivel. And yeah, I didn't know how to do my hair, so I didn't do it, and she didn't do it either. I didn't go back to her, but yeah, it grew out just fine. But please don't do things like that. Please, please, please don't double, triple, quadruple process your hair. Please don't, because apparently it took me an inch mohawk to find that out myself. But it all grew back, and all's well that ends well, right? If you have any stories about double processing horrors, please leave them down below so that we can tell everybody, don't do those things, don't do that, don't do that. Yeah, if you guys like the concept of hair story time, where I could share stories about things that I've learned the hard way or any other type of stories you want to hear, let me know. And thank you so much, Kenitha, for this idea. And hopefully this was a little bit interesting, and I'll see you ladies soon. Bye!